Alright, hey everybody, this is GeoWill from Productions², and we're back to do a little bit more streaming for tonight. So I never actually did get to wash my car, or do that video because I had not realized there was a pretty big storm rolling through, and I was almost certain we were going to get some rain. There was a little bit of rain, some spitting going on, but nothing really huge. At the same time, my mouse is dead. At the same time, though, it's supposed to rain crazily tomorrow, so I decided not to wash the car because I didn't have to wash it again. And I went through this in through this once in the fall of 2016 after I got the car. I washed it like for I think 3 days in a row. I washed it, and every day it got messed up again from rain. So I'm gonna wait till probably maybe next weekend to wash it. I'm gonna do some recording while I'm on my way to golf course tomorrow morning. Just kind of start off the beginning of the 2-year thing. So what we will be doing now is we're going to be working on this. So earlier today, we managed to get pretty much all the way through the main section of it. We got the weapons to equip properly, we got them to unequip properly, and show up and be removed from the game party weapon list. We got the durability system in there and working, so every time you hit something during battle, well, there's a little caveat there, but every time you hit something during battle, it takes a certain amount off of the durability. And you can also repair it at the NPC now, because we've done the repairing system. So the NPC is pretty much the main structure of it is done. Now what we need to do is deal with the saving, because that's going to be totally broken, and there might be some things we need to deal with on loading that we didn't, that weren't knowable until now because of the way in which the saving happens and loading and whatnot. So I don't know if there's like going to be stuff that's loaded on, if the actors are going to get equipped items on load that are whatever. So we'll need to figure out how that happens with that in that regard. What else do we need to do? There's a weird bug with the blacksmith. We'll have to figure out where it's crashing when you click on cancel on the first menu to figure that out. And then we'll also need to go through and do a little bit of debugging and make sure everything works properly. We'll put in note tags for the other weapons and test them out and see what happens. But for now, we're going to look at the saving. So last time we tried to save, it threw a nasty, huge, ugly error at us. So let's go ahead and see what that error was, because I forget what it was. Save in 3, okay. Cannot read property of 0, undefined. And that came up some other time too, I forget when. So let's pull up the console here and see where this is at. So this is on objects, on the handler. Okay, awesome. The very first thing crashes. So object keys on pweps for each function, p weapon ID, blah blah blah, and it's saying that cannot read property 0 of undefined. So it's either talking about this or it's talking about this. So the question is where exactly. If we click on this, it should take us to the exact. So it's on the for each. So it is for this part. Now we can actually restructure this. So we're not using this object of keys method of going through it, because this invalidates a this call. So what we can do is, and that's why we have this pweps thing here. So what we can actually do is just say, instead of that, we can say for each, or not for, but for their party weapon ID in game party dot underscore weapons. And then what we do is we have that party weapon thing there. And instead of set, well, we call in, so we'll say party weapon. We'll say GP weapon equals game party, not page, dot underscore weapons So it would be the, so we can do it this way, dot underscore weapons PWID. So that gets us the initial one. Then we have to create a similar one in party weapons, party weps, which we will rename this to. So we have a list that we can throw these objects into. So then what we need to do then is go through and say on, let's actually redo this over here because I'm doing it again. Alright, game party weapon handler on, so I'm not sure if this is working, but it's failing down here. So I'll just basically copy paste that back over. Then what we can do is select GP weapon and then Control D all of these. Actually, Control D all of this. And then override it with the actual thing we need to use. Alright, now this is fine though. This will be our save file contents object. So we are saving at the particular index that we have for this game party weapon. We are saving all the values back into here. Now we need to add some stuff, I believe, because I think we're missing some stuff that we added later on in the coding. Well, maybe just these two. I think the last one is ref bonus. Yeah, just those two, I think. Looks like it. Yep. Okay, so we just need to add these two here. Go ahead and add them to each spot. So we need to add them to wherever we're saving or loading from. So, actors, weapon ID, place that with that, and then move this onto this side. Oops. And then change that to change this to this. Oops. Okay, and then weapon ID 1, make sure that's correct. Oh, we can do the same thing here with this as well. So, for their AID in game actors, actor equals so game actors data, I think it is with this one. Yeah, data. And it actually might be that way on, I think, no, actually game weapons, I think that's just a regular list. This, though, is a data thing, so we need to do actor equals game actors dot underscore data, then AID. And then instead of actors ID, or actors AID, we change this just to actor. Actor weapons. Okay, we already assigned that. Actually, that's not correct. It should be a list, as should this. Party whips. Oh, we already have it down there, up there, so we don't need it down here. Good. Okay, don't need that or that. Same thing down here. We just need the closing curly brace. we'll have to check and see if that actually works the way it's supposedly working. Actually, I think this one needs to get tabbed in. Yeah. So var actor, this also has to be var, because it's not defined otherwise. Party weapons is already defined, that's fine. Wep ID, we don't need to do that. Well, let's see. Why was I using Wep ID? So name, so ID is Equips ID. Is there an actor ID in here somewhere? So we need to store the actor ID for these, so we know where it's supposed to be put back onto. Actually, I think it's underscore actor ID. Yeah, actor ID. Underscore actor ID. Okay, actor.underscore actor ID. Save that in act ID so we know where the weapon goes. Or who it goes to, I should say. And then the slot's always going to be 0. That we'll have to modify that to handle dual equip weapons. And dual equip weapons are going to be interesting in general, because we'll have to be able to equip 2 separate instance weapons onto a character, and that could be very interesting to handle and see what happens when we do that. Almost certain things are going to break. Almost certain of it. There's probably other ways in which things happen or execute when you have 2 weapons equipped that we don't normally see during the thing, and actually we already had actor ID here. Well, that's fine. The way we're doing it down here is much better and correct, actually. Because, you know, there's probably like some other things we'll have to handle in terms of like how damage is done or something. So we need to do the same thing we did up there with these to put them in to this. Or what am I doing? Don't need to do it that way. Ah, come on. Stop. Stop doing stupid stuff. Stop doing stupid stuff, stupid hands. Hit the right keys. Okay, this is going to go here. GP weapon. Alright, that's the one we're using there. So GP weapon is game party weapon. So why are we using equips down here? Yeah, that's not right. That came over from somewhere else. We don't need that. I think I copied it down from the actor section. I didn't remove those. That could be, well, that would have been one of the areas that we had issues with if I hadn't fixed it right now. Alright, there. If it's a game party weapon, it's already a game instance weapon, so we don't have to do weird things like that. So this goes to here. This goes across to here. And this becomes this. Alright, so now on load. So we need to change this to act ID because we need to. And again, we don't need to do this way. We can just do a for in for var act wep in this underscore actor weapons. So what we need to do is we need to get the actor. So we're just going to load them right onto the actor from here. So let's change this to actor. Then we need to call. Crap, what is it? Game actors and pass through the ID. I think. Yeah. So dot actor, or no. So what if we want to get the game actor? So we just call, well, not data actors. Oh, shit. Yeah. This is interesting. So we'll need to call, well, data actors is fine. So we could call that just on the actor ID. Okay, I guess we could try that and see if that works first. And I need to go back down. So, well, okay, so data actors. And that should get us the actor. Then we need to get the slot ID, which we're doing there. And then we need to do a var act weapon equals game instance weapon. So I think we can do it that way. Instance. I believe we can define it with an empty constructor and it won't try and do any parameters. And then we can assign all this stuff to it. So this is the much easier way to do this. Then once we're done at the end here, we just say actor.equips, _equips 0, which is the slot ID. So actually we should use SID. Equals, and then we just say act weapon. And that should do what we want it to do. And we'll bypass any of the equipping parts. Well, actually, do we need to do change equipment, because that will then process the trait stuff. So I think we need to do change equipment, or change equip, I think is what it's called. Let's see. Change equip, slot ID, and then the item. Yeah. So change equip, slot ID, and the items. Change equip, SID, and then act weapon. And that should process all the stuff that needs to be processed, and update the game actor's game battler base class stuff as well. So that's probably the first place something will fail is in there. If something in here doesn't go on the load. So we need to change. So this is the easy part. We just gotta change this stuff to act weapon, and then this stuff to let's see, actor weps. Actor weapons, acts wep. Okay, that should do that. And if it's game party, for the game party weapons, we're just taking the list and setting it to game party weapons, because that's the easiest way to do it. We don't need that. Alright, so let's do a double check here, make sure we got everything. So we have two properties with this, with party weps and actor weps, which are this to _ party weapons, this to _ actor weapons. Configurable, there's a typo. So we set them to objects. They actually should be lists. Well, Yeah, they should be lists, because they're going to have lists of objects in them. It's going to be a list of objects. So actually, we don't even need this stuff. Oh, this is on creation. Save contents create. No, I don't think we don't need that actually, do we? That was when we were doing the object.keys for each. Since we're doing them directly now through just a for-in, I don't think we need to do this. We can just do that. Rather, actually, we need everything. So, there. And we won't need these. Okay. And we won't need this either. Next, what do we need to do for this? Same thing, except for this party weapons. Okay, we won't need to do that. So there's that. Now, so we're just setting the party weapons to game party.weapons because it's going to be the exact same. Hopefully, and then we have this. We're setting up the temporary weapon to store all this in, and then we are. So we'll need. So since we're calling an empty constructor, we will need to. So what if we? So what do we need for this? We need the actual game item. We need the ID, the slot ID, and the well, actually, a game actor web. So this is actually, well, this should be stored as a game weapon. So maybe before we do this, we should try just loading in a game weapon as a game weapon. So, let's grab this. What's the other parameter? The third parameter is, oh, weapon type. Right. So that's going to be what? W type. And then true because it's a game weapon. And we'll see how that works. True, again, it should be SID. Alright, now, the error was at the loop here, so we'll see if we still have that issue or not. There's going to be a ton of issues that we're going to have to fix, but for now, alright, connected property equips of undefined. So, where's that at? Kind of in the same general area, sort of. So, actor is undefined. There's some breakpoints there. Start. So, AID is. Alright, so game actors data, it's fine, so we're calling, or game actors. Oh, we need to say game actors data. That's why, it's throwing that error, at least one of the reasons why. Um, All right, there. Okay, so actor now is a game actor. Okay, that's good. So let's just see what happens. Okay, it said it saved. And we see a thing here. So now let's go to Toy Box. If I have it open, and I believe I do. Here we go. We'll just close one of these. We'll go ahead and load up a new project. So my plugins, AWP Advanced. Alright, so we have 3 saves. So here we go. Var Weps. Party weapons, we have 2. Ew. Empty array, so that's no good. What do we have in here? We actually have 4 in here. So actor weapons. Okay, cool. So these are the weapons that the actors have equipped. That's right. So base params. Well, these aren't correct, obviously. Let's see. What else is not right? The price is right. Level bonuses is not right. Is synthesis false? Act ID is 1. Oh wait, no, these are right because those don't have any tags on them. Right. So those are actually correct. But I don't like... Well, actually, no, this is right, too, because we don't have any party weapons. So actually, it looks like it did save correctly. Now, let's actually get some weapons and then try and save it. Okay, PW ID is not defined. There we go. So, PW ID... Really? That's what you're going to throw out, is PW ID is not defined? When clearly it is. What line is it on? No, definitely there. PWID is not the... Oh, typo. Lowercase w, and that's the flippin' console. Oh, wow, they're all wrong. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Now that we fixed everything, it should work. Alright, we are broken. Or no, yeah, it should go. Oh wow, it is not going. There it goes. That was weird. Okay, grab some weapons, and let's go ahead and save. Okay, so we got saved. Toy box, refresh. Let's look at save 4. Alright, Var Weps. Okay, we have 2. Okay, so sword, which is fine. I'm more interested in the second one, though. Okay, here we go. So we got note tag, which is awesome. Good. These params are still not correct. So it looks like it's combining everything instead of storing it, because it's trying to convert a list into into an object or something. And every object has to have key value pair. Yeah, so that's kind of annoying. I'll have to figure all that out. Everything else looks like it's saved correctly except for anything that's a list, which is like half the stuff in here. And a lot of the most important stuff, like the traits, the parameters, the level bonuses, all the stuff that's awesome and makes this thing work properly. That's all just gone. We don't need it anymore. It doesn't need to be on the save file. Okay, so, well, it says at R, then it has a number. I'm actually hesitant to say that's not storing it at all, actually. Because, like, if you see here, 2. It has our thing here, and then it has the actual array. So I'm wondering if it's even storing anything at all. So maybe it's not even storing the value properly. Because it really shouldn't matter if it's a list or not. It should store it as a list, if it is a list. Kind of like how the game party actors is. Data, this is a list. So it should have an array thing in here with stuff in it. So it looks like it's not even pulling the parameters correctly. Which is fine. That's what we're here to do, is to figure stuff out. So GP weapons, let's just go ahead and put a, well, can't put brakes here, we have to put them over here. Let's put brakes on all the parameters. And on the traits, and on the level bonuses. So we can see what all that stuff is. Actually, it should be 1 off. So we can see what it gets set to, rather than what it's... So actually, we shouldn't even have these here. Alright, let's go ahead and do another save. Let's save over it. So... interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and get rid of all this. And we're going to add this underscore party weapons. Maybe we should do something what we're doing up there, which is to store, like how we're loading it with the actors. Maybe we should save it this way with this as well, because what we're doing is we're basically trying to build a structure in this thing that we've created. But no, this should work. It should work this way. The question is PWID. Okay, so that's an object. Okay, now here we go, add params. So these are loading in here correctly. But on the save file, it looks like it's combining them together or something. Well, no, it's not even combining them together, it's not saving them. Because these don't equal those numbers that were showing up. So I think those are just some sort of identifier for the, for whatever that structure is. So let's add this under game party. Alright, so we kind of compare. And let's just put it at the end so we can actually just compare it all to each other. Oh, I'd like to put it there, but it's not letting me. Okay, continue to the next break. So let's take a look. And also, let's just go ahead and add another one for just this, or this underscore party weapons. So you kind of see what it looks like overall. So, object. So yeah, why don't we try that? Let's just go here and comment this out for the moment. And instead of this, we're just going to say we're just going to do that. We're going to save it directly there and see what happens. See what it looks like in the save file. So yeah, game instance weapon. So this way we have the class type in here as well. Continue. So it looks like it's saved. No errors at least. Let's go ahead and do a refresh here and reopen this one. Alright, so we got party weapons. We only have 2 now, which is fine. Let's go to here. And I'm not seeing anything here. Interesting. Still getting all the actor weapons, but now we're not getting any data here. Okay. So let's check. want to revisit my bank plugin for a second. So how did I save this? I'll need to load in the objects, I think. Okay, so the way that we saved it was we have a global thing called game banks. And we are populating that with bank records. And game banks is the variable for the class game banks. In this case, we're kind of doing something a little bit different. We have a class that's called game weapons, and then a handler that handles the loading and saving. So game instance weapon handler, we have these functions that we're storing stuff into. We're making them lists. In the case over here, that is actually set up as an object, I think. I'll need to look at managers. Or rather, it's set up as an instance of... So on ours, when we have the create objects, we are initializing it as an instance of game instance weapon handler. Okay, that's right. Did the similar thing with the game banks. It's a game banks instance. So yeah, we want to save it as just data, pure data. We don't want to save it as an game instance weapon object. We just want to basically create a structure within this and then load it from that structure when we load in the data. So let's go ahead and kill managers and banks. We don't need those anymore. Alright, so we definitely need to go this route, not that route. Actually, there was just a empty object. Okay, so now my main question is why are the lists being converted into, well, not being saved, I guess. There's going to be a couple of reasons for that. There's no errors, but maybe there's something when it's doing the conversion to JSON that's stripping them out or something. However, let me see, on the game banks, I shouldn't have closed it so soon. Did we not have a list in here? And actually I need the objects. So game banks, how's everything defined? So game banks, bank ID. So actually everything we have here is actually being stored as not a list but an object. So maybe we do need to store those as objects, not lists. Rather, turn these into objects instead of lists. That might be why I'm not saving properly or something. Well, we'll see. We'll try saving it like this and see what happens with the save file. I think this is how they were originally, but we'll still give it a crack here and see what happens. Okay, so it's party weapons. PIWD object. Actually, let's look at the other one. I've only got one object in there right now. Okay, there we go. So we got both in here. Okay, we've got all those. We got the final params. We have level bonuses. We've got the name, the note tag, S params, traits. Everything's in there. Okay, so what does toy box say is there? Okay, so we got that now. But yeah, see, here we are again with these. They don't have any value. There's no data stored in them. Because they are lists and not objects. And I think when you store it in here, it has to be JSON, so it has to be in that format. Otherwise, it doesn't get saved. That's going to be a... It's going to be a biatch to do. Alright then, so we got to turn them into lists. Well, object lists, not array lists, and we need to then be able to process them back out. So find a params equals wow, okay, so let's make these do a return. So base params. And we're going to pass through the value from, well, yeah. Let's actually do this on here first. It'll be better to do it down here than up there. Okay. And then we will pass through this, and this will just be base params. So we're going to return an object. So how this will work is, let's put these down here, I guess. Alright, so we will have a var params equals this for var parm n bp list. So this is just going to be a list of values. So all we really need to do is, actually, what we can do is this. We should do is this, because this will make it easier. So we need an iterator for the ID and the params object. I1 is less than BP list. Length I1 plus plus. Now params I1 equals BP list I1, and then return params. So we're just going to do that for the first one and see what happens. So grab these, save, overwrite 4. Hey, gen base params not found because gen base gen base BASE PRAMS game instance weapon handler dot prototype function. Oh, this. Right. Function is a member of weapon handler, so we have to put this on it. Okay, now let's try it. Alright, overwrite. So, so now it's 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 10, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 6, 0. So they're still in a similar pattern to what they are in here, except the index is no longer an index, it's a key. and the key is the parameter. So when we hit OK and OK, what does the save file look like? And there we go. Boom. That's definitely the problem. So we need to turn all these into objects. Blah. Okay. Alright, so we've diagnosed the issue. Now it's just a matter of cold, hard, finger cramping, crushing, destroying, typing. So we have to do then add params. So GPU weapon add params, it's changed to add params. There, ex params equals this to underscore gen ex params gp weapon dot should have just done this in the first place. It's so much easier. Alright, so the params are done. Now we need to do the traits, and we need to do the bonus level stuff. That's fine, actually. What else is there? So params, traits. There. I don't know why we have underscore there for. Some of these are going to be really interesting to have to do. What else is there? So I think those are the only lists we have to deal with. So level bonuses, traits, and yeah. Okay, so this one we can just copy 4 times. Add exp sp final, yeah. Or what we can do is, doesn't really matter what you're passing through here, now that I think about it. Parameters are parameters, so whatever we pass through will get spat back out, so just say gen params. Perfect. Alright. Now we just have to handle these. They're all going to be pains in the arses in their own right. Okay, so we'll start with traits. That'll be the easier one, I think. So game, instance, weapon, handler. Okay, so, well, not really. I think, well, traits. What are we going to do with traits? Hit this real quick again. So traits are So traits is an array, but in that array we already have JSON objects. So we have to have it's basically a double nested JSON object. So we have the key as the array ID as a key, array index as a key, and then the value is the trait object itself. So we have to say well, it's going to be another one of these deals, so we'll just copy this down. Whoops. In this case, so we're going to say traits dot length return traits I1 equals traits I1 dot underscore traits I1, which would be, actually that might just work like that. That might be that simple. Now level bonuses might be a different story. So if you look at level bonuses, we have so yeah, we have durability, which is its own array. Actually, these are all arrays in here, so we have to change these all themselves into God, these are arrays too. Oh yeah. Crap. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. This is gonna be interesting. All right. Let's just pull this out over here so I can see the actual breakdown of it. And then these are arrays too. Jesus. Okay. So I think what we'll need to do with these is we'll need to maybe do individual for loops. Else we'll be like having to check to see what it is, and I don't want to do any of that. So we'll have level bonuses for the first thing. Then for each other list, we need to have an object to store it in. So var. So let's see. The first one is durability. So var dur equals this. Var. So now params is a list within a list. So we'll have to have, like, say for example, base parms equals we can call it get parms with this, can't we? Nice. Equals gen parms. And then we pass through the traits. Ooh. So the traits, so parms. Parms is base params. Actually, let's call them parms, not base params, just to keep them similar to what they are in there. So durability, parms. So parms traits would be traits I2, or traits 1, I mean. So traits is an array. The index at 0, not traits, level bonuses, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Let's just close this. So level bonuses, the first one is an array, which is durability. The second one is eparms. The third one, so 0, 1, 2. 2 is parms. And parms is a particular parameter. Right, this is a particular parameter, and then a list of the changes on the level for that parameter. So var parms. We'll need to first initialize it. and say parms. So we have to do a loop on parms. Okay, that makes sense. So we'll start out with this, just to kind of give an idea of how this would be done. So parm loop. So for var I1 equals 0, I1 is less than, so it'd be traits. Traits 2, since it's the third element. Traits 2 dot length. Now, the so is parms is a, okay, no, parms, oh right, yeah, no, parms is a object. It's a 2 with, it's an object of a key and an array. The array needs to be turned to an object. So we're looping through on this, so 2 length, and then we say so then we say parms. And we say traits dot 2, or traits 2 dot key. So traits 2 I1 dot key. So I'm going to get the key of the current index of that, and that's going to equal this dot get parms, get params, and we're going to pass through the value, which is going to just be traits 2 I1 dot value, I think. I have no clue if this is the correct way to do this or not, so we'll have to do a check on it to see if it works or not. Let's go ahead and bring this back over, if we even get to there. I think it might fail on the traits first, but we'll see. So we need to refresh this, and then I need to put a breakpoint. Oh yeah. It's definitely gonna fail, and we got dangling crap like this out there. Ah, come on. Comment that out. Alright, there we go. So I need to put a thing here. Alright, so if we go to save, overwrite, yay, gen params, where am I calling params from? Probably one of these. All of them after that, or no, just that one, I think. And that's not going to change it, so that's in the console. That will change it because it's not in the console. Let's get rid of that, because we won't reach it from this breakpoint, or because of that breakpoint. Alright, save and advanced. Traits is not defined. Awesome. So we're passing through GP weapon underscore traits. Is it not underscore traits? Maybe this is a different area. Let's see. Gen level bonuses. Bonuses. Not traits. There's a derp for you. A derpish moment. A derp-worthy moment. Okay, so, new game. Grab the weapons, and go save, overwrite 4, and length is undefined. Okay, I probably length of undefined, so somewhere we've got a thing that's undefined. Come up as undefined on here. So, bonuses 2. Alright, we'll need to check out what that's returning as then. So, put a breakpoint there and see what we're getting. Right, because... Damn. Alright, it's going through each weapon. Not every weapon will have something there, so we have to say is... for... It's gotta be a double nested for loop. Blah. I hate these, but... So that one is less than... So instead of bonuses, we want to say... oh yeah, bonuses. Dot length. Or no, 2, yeah. It's the third element. So, bonuses I1. This will be actually I2. This is a very good way to really fry your brain trying to figure this stuff out. These double nested for loops like this. Doing this kind of stuff with recursive functions too is a nightmare. I had a very fun time blowing my brain out trying to build a recursive function system that would build out the trade routes for the economic test system for Odyssean Void. Got to work eventually, but the level of just the debugging was insane. I'm just literally insane. Okay, now let's go back to here. Okay, so well, that was interesting. So apparently, bonuses never equaled 2. Okay, now it's not even doing the breakpoints. That's very interesting. Let's save a new file. Nope, it's not even doing that now. Alright, let's just do this. I'm curious as to whether or not that actually saved correctly, though. No, not here. Like if it's actually saved. No, it did save data. It just didn't rebuild the contents, which is interesting. See how now we got all this stuff in here. Level bonuses. No, I didn't get to the level bonuses. Of course, we haven't actually built out that code fully yet, so that's probably why. Alright, so grab these and then go to save. What in the hell? We're not even getting to here now. That's just really strange. Alright, bonuses dot length. Really, bonuses is empty. Well, that shouldn't happen. Alright, level bonuses. Actually, we can go back there. We have to use the call stack, though. Let's go back to this. Okay, so traits is undefined. Or no, it's not undefined. It says it's undefined, but that's... Or this trait is undefined, I guess. Well, yeah, okay. Well, that's the first weapon, though. So it didn't even bother trying to save the second weapon. Maybe because it failed somewhere in the meantime. I bet you anything, it silently failed trying to save the level bonuses and the traits. Another instance of it not throwing an error when it should have. Okay, so we're still getting nothing though. Oh, GP weapon is not defined. Oh, we're not there anymore. On to continue. So this is interesting. Level bonuses. Oh wow, yeah, no, it's empty. Oh, for the first one, that's right. The first one is right. The second one, it should not be right. Okay, so now we're on the one that should have it. Okay, now we do have things here. So continue. So bonuses, we have stuff. Bonuses, dot length. But maybe that's still undefined for... So let's see what we get. Yeah, it is undefined. So what do we need to use? Is there a count? There's no count. Let's see. Let us have a look. JavaScript counting. JavaScript get count of object array or whatever. It's really a map. It's an object literal. You should iterate over your own properties of the object and count them. Seriously? Okay, so you can use object keys, key member. Oh, okay, object keys. Interesting. So if we try that, object dot keys. Yeah, that really works. If you don't use the K, and we're gonna say bonuses. If I can type it. Okay, we get 5. Well, we get 5 arrays. Is that right? Oh, dot length. No, object key. Yeah, dot length. So, whoops. Okay, we get 5 there. So we'll use that instead. Try to avoid doing this kind of stuff like the play, because you have to kind of bastardize the code to get it to work. Objects. No, yes, maybe, yes, possibly. I think so. Definitely, maybe. Yeah, down here. Or, no, definitely not. Away with you. Where's my objects at? Did I have it open up in another window? No. Well, this is very interesting. It just seems to have vanished. Alright, we'll reopen it. Alright, so instead of doing that, we're going to call this. Now this will work because, well, let's see. This might not still work. So what if, let's say that we have, so let's say bonuses. Undefined, because it has to be the key. Crap. So for this one, we have to iterate over it using the object.keys. Damn, triple, double, dog, damn. Hate object.key loops. Okay, so we have our bonuses. Well, this isn't a this, so that may not matter, but it probably will because, well, we'll find out, I guess. Because if it doesn't work, we'll get a nice, lovely, undefined error, and everything will be just great. Alright, so get rid of all that. So, objects.keys, bonuses, dot for each function, we'll say bonus. So bonus is going to be the key. So we'll say if bonus equals params. Look at our bonus object here, little bonuses, so it'll be params. And then params is a list. The value is a list. So if it equals params, then we say so we need to loop. Well, we need to take the key and set it. So first thing we need to do is take params or parms, and then set the key, which is well, wait, this is going to be okay. So we don't do that. So that's a damn, this is so annoying. Okay, so it's a object literal inside of an object literal. So we have to do a double nested object keys loop. Why? Alright, object.keys. Now we have to pass through bonuses. God damn. Bonuses, bonus. Dot for each. This is just so frigging. This is like getting to Objective-C levels of wanting to chop my hands off. So then we say, damn it, we need to make a var parm object, then parm parm ID equals bonuses bonus parm ID to get the value. But the thing here is that we have to turn this from an array into one of these object things. So actually we can't do that just yet. Almost there. First we need to make another var val list, we'll call it, equals yet another this. However, this time we can just do a for loop. So for int var I1 equals 0. Yeah, because we're using that, so we can do that. I1 is less than bonuses. No, this isn't. We have to put this in again. Bonus, then parm ID dot length, because it'll work on this one. Since what we're pulling out of this is now going to be an array on the value side, and then we can do I1 plus plus. And then we just say val list I1 equals, in fact, that's what we should do. So we don't have to keep on pasting that crazy long fracker around. And then just say this I1. So hopefully that works. And then once we have the val list built, then bonus so parm ID equals this. So parm ID, and then and then once we're done with that loop, crap, this has to go outside. Then when we're done with that crap, we have to say parms equals parm. Alright, so God, my head's already exploding from this stuff. Alright, so we have params here. Inside params, we have an array. Well, first we have the bonuses somewhere in here, level bonuses. So we are saying that bonuses is that first list, and we have this one for that as well. Inside of there, we have to have another literal object called params, which we have parms. So this is the object literal that goes inside of here for params over here. Inside of that, we have to have another object literal that has the ID of the parameter, and then the array of values for the level that you should increase that parameter for those levels. So it's basically the level increase, basically. And that's got to be, that's in there right now as a object literal with a value of an array. We have to change that array to another object literal list of the array of the level and then the amount to increase. So down here we have our bonus, we have our params, so we're going through bonuses, which is what we're passing in through here, which has that stuff in it. We are looking for the key bonus equals params, so the params key for bonus. We are creating a object literal for params called parm. Well, for this particular parameter that we're pulling out, let's put it that way. Well, or let's see, this would get every parameter ID stored in parm. So no, we could actually make this params or parms. This could be parms, maybe. We might need this. We might not need that at all, which would be just awesome. So parms, we're looping through for each parameter ID in the bonuses object literal called params, which is what that does. For each key, which is going to be the parameter ID, we would then want to go through and pull out the value list, which is the list of, well, the literal value list, which is the list of the increases per level. Want to pull those out, store that into another object literal where the level is the key and the value is the amount to increase per that level, and then store that into params param ID, parm ID, the value list as the key. I think that's what we want to do. Now, whether this crashes and burns because of that whole, well, that would definitely. We are not trying to input kets into this thing. The kets need to stay in Andromeda. So we got that, we got this, and if all 9 planets, including Pluto, because I still consider it a planet, are aligned, and the Martians are not invading, and the cow jumps over the moon, this should work properly. If any of those things fails, though, this will crash and burn like a nightmare. So let's see if it actually works or not. First, I have to figure out where the hell it's at. Oh, we haven't refreshed the code yet. Okay, now I need to figure out where. So all that's dead code. We're not going to go in there. And yes, value list is. There's no equal sign. We've already failed our first most crucial important test. Writing the code correctly. Actually, twice. Alright, so there we go. So we want to check this, I guess, to see what the value list is, and then this to see what params equals with that. Alright, where is the window? It's in hiding, there we go. So let's grab some of these, and then do some of this, and then do that, and then let's see what kind of hell we will unleash. Well, it kind of did nothing, which is interesting. That's either very good or very bad. I think it's the bad kind of good. So first we gotta come into here and see what's actually going on. Alright, so we're coming to here, so let's actually see what we're getting at a bonus. So right now it's not defined because we're not inside a bonus, inside that loop yet. So params is bonus. Okay, so then we go to here. Well, first let's actually see if we're pulling this correctly. I'm not even sure we are pulling this correctly. So we're getting an object. Okay, cool. That's working. Awesome. So that does work. Now, right, it wouldn't do it the first time because that one doesn't have a bonus, doesn't have a tag on it. Okay, fine. That's good. Then the first time through was fine. It did what it was supposed to do. Now we want to see what we get out of this. So parm ID is 2. So then if we check this, what do we get? This might just work. We get an array. Perfect. So I want to see what we get here. So I want to throw v list I1 here, and then I just want to track what val list is. So on its own. Alright, so vlist1 I1 is 0. What do we have? So 1 should be 1 and 3 should be 2 when we're looking through this. So let's see, next. Okay, we got 0. Awesome. So that's 1. That's good. The next one should be 0. That's good. The next one should be 3. Or 2. So 3 is 2. Good. So far it's looking good. So 3 and then 5. Alright, now let's minimize these. And I want to get parms in here. So parms is an empty object right now. And let's check the val list. Well, we already know what the val list is, so never mind that. Okay, so add this. So parms object is 2 and then perfect. Awesome. So now we come down here to the end of this. Or actually, we didn't add it to the level bonuses, but actually that works. That blankety blanketing blank 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 worked first time. Good. So now we just need to do this for everything. Okay, time to go crazy. So we have that for parms. We need to pull this down again because we need to see the structure of the rest of it. So we need to do it for, we'll just do it in the order that they show up in. So that way it's in the actual order of how it's going to be actually done. So that'll help a little bit in, okay. So parms, it's fine. So it's going to be an else if though, I guess. No, it can't be an else if because, or wait, can it? So it's only going to be one, yeah, else if will work. There. It's only going to be one of these per time through it, so that's fine. And an else if will keep us from checking every one of these. So we'll save a few CPU cycles. So if bonus equals, crap, so we need to do params. We have dir, var, parms. So traits is going to be the interesting one. Well, not really. It's going to be another double loop, I think, for that one too. Well, maybe not because on the well, let's see. So traits is an array, first off. Actually, that's true. Traits is an array. And then it contains arrays that contain object literals. That is going to be interesting. Holy crap. Oh, man. Putting this all back together on the load is going to be equally a pain in the arse. Alright, so eparams, params, sparams, so sparms, and then traits. Luckily, that's, I think, all there is. So you might be able to call gen traits on those. Well, Oh, true. Could we just call, because this is doing what we're doing down there, could we just call, I didn't think about that. We could just call from here, valList equals this dot get params. I had forgotten about doing that in here. And then we need to pass through vlist. That should work, actually. Cool. So that limits the madness down to a little bit less. We're still doing double-nested frigging object key loops. But that helps a bit. Now I got to bring this back down so I can see what we need to do with. So where's love bonuses? There it is. Up this at the top, so I can see them. And we'll hide everything else out of here so we don't see them because we don't need them there. Alright, so dir is just a array. It's just a pure array, so that's going to be simple. We'll just loop through it and build a the list out of that. Technically, we could just call gen params again for this because that's just the same process. Maybe we call this, well, I'll just keep it gen params, and then when somebody goes in to look at the code and sees that I'm calling gen params on the durability list, they can scratch their head and be like, what the hell was he thinking? Like I do routinely looking at the code for MV sometimes. So bonus is dir. I think it's just dir. Then dir equals this dot gen parm rans, and then we need to get the bonus. So it's just bonuses bonus, and that should return a list, and then that should just do that. So durability, or we'll just call it what it is, so dir. And this should be params, not params. So next up is eparams. Else if, do else if correctly. Bonus equals eparams. So basically we have to just do the same thing with this, do another inner loop. In fact, we might just be able to get away with putting this eventually into its own function, passing through the bonus is bonus. Well, no, because then we have to do the val list. Well, so you build the val list in there. So now I guess, yeah, we could get away with it, because then we just return it to a val list thing we'll have defined up there. Anyway, so that, and then after this, so this is going to be eparams. This is a params, parm ID val list. And that should be just fine. And then params, which we already have. And then sparams. So again, we can just copy this. Really, I think that's all we have to change with that. Then traits. Then traits. And then there were traits. Alright, so right off the bat, we have to do this differently. So what this is an array. Each level is its own array, and within that array is an array where the index contains an object. So array of objects. So we'll need to first loop through the traits array. Okay, so for int I1 is 0, I1 is less than, bonus dot length will work on this because it's an array length, or dot length will work on this because it's an array, I1 plus plus. Now in here we have to have something to store the level code, I guess the level value, and then after that we'll loop through the array that's the value for this, and then we have to do another one that stores the well, it doesn't have to do anything really. I don't think it has to have anything particular for the value on the key, because it's just going to store a code, a data ID, and the value, which all will be used to define what trait it is that we're pulling out from the data states or data, whatever trait you're happening to be doing. So, but we do need a var, what do we call this? I guess called level, I guess, equals this. So, for int I2, for var I2, God, equals 0, I2 is less than then tra.length, because now this will have all the stuff in it for each trait that's being either added or modified on that particular level. And then I2 plus plus. Yeah, once we get the right character in there. Alright, so then we need to have var trait. So, so let's see, trait's going to store, so the ID doesn't really matter, so we can just use I2 for the ID. And then, so, or should, let's see. So this is going to be a literal object array, so to speak. So actually this needs to be defined in here. And we don't need this. So then we say traits I2 equals T array I2. I think that's all we'll need to do for that. Then once all that's done, once we go process each trait in that T array, then we need to say level I1, so this is for each level. And the value of that is going to be traits. Maybe that's all we have to do. That was less complicated than I might thought it would have to be. So still we'll need to do checking on that, so we'll save this, reload, and then take these breakpoints out. Okay, yeah, we already got a problem here. So what is the... unexpected identifier. Wow, you got all kinds of crap popping up here. Game actor not def... What the hell? Something is really wrong here. So... Okay, so for... and oh, there. Crap. Trying to do ints again. Okay, there we go. No, that's amazing that one thing, thing, the ints instead of error caused like 5 errors to appear that completely trashed the code. It's kind of amazing. Alright, so we need to go to here and here. We need to see what we're getting out of all this. And I guess we should probably also put some breakpoints here and there. So go there, get the weapons, do a save, overwrite that one. So the first one third should have nothing. Now this one should have stuff. And what do we got? This dot get params is not a function. This dot get params is not a function because we're doing this, and damn, we can't call this from within an object key loop. So I knew there was a good reason we weren't doing that. Is there any way we could do that? So no, because we have to do it on each parameter, so damn. Okay, let's regroup here and put it back for every one of these. I'm not going to undo because I did a lot of other coding, so we'll just recreate it. Not that hard. So vlist. That's literally all we have to do. Oh, and then vlist here. Okay. Somebody did a lot of modifying on that. Why did I get... what is this? Just wondering why I got reputation for. So somebody plussed that up. That's interesting. It's kind of surprising, actually. Somebody plussed that up. Anyway, back over here. So that was like a, you know, one of those situations where your brain kind of just slides out of your ear and you don't notice it. I was using a bunch of equals to try and get a bunch of different values, which wouldn't work because nothing's going to equal the same ID at the same time, multiple IDs at the same time. I had to use it instead. I'd spent like literally 28 minutes until I realized, oh, it should be in, not and equals and and equals and and equals or equals. Well, or would work, but I was doing ands. Alright, so save, overwrite 5. Yeah, I think I got the weapons. Okay. Alright, so we managed to get down to this part, so that's good. So now we want to do, what do we want to put in here? So we want to see what T-array is, first of all. So we have our different arrays here. Alright, so I'm just going to put a break here too so we can see what that actually passes out to before we go through the rest of it. Alright, so we get one array, which is 0 and that. Okay, so then we go through this. So now let's see what t_array I2 is. So that becomes an object, and that's the values, okay. And let's also see what traits is at the moment. So traits is just a blank object. So we go through here once. Object 0, okay, that's good. Then let's see what level has. So that's going to be a blank object right now. So we go through it and boom. No. It's still a blank object because why? Oh, well, that's why. Crap. And then level has to go to this up here, the traits, var traits. Oh wait, we're redefining it down here. Let's call it traits 2. Because I'm feeling particularly lazy and don't want to rename it to something more fitting. And then on the outside of this loop, we say traits equals level. All right, let's restart it. Okay, we'll skip through that one. So t_array has the first one. Right, this is actually going to be traits 2 now instead of traits. Traits has that, and then 0, 1, 0, it's object this, and then cool. So level 3 will be the first one that'll have actually something in it, I think. And that'll be the interesting one. At least I think so. Let's check. Yeah, 3 is the first one that has anything in it. So that's this one. So, alright, t_array does have that data in it. So now we should go through the loop 3 times. And traits 2 has that in it. Good. 0, 1, 2. And then this has perfect. Okay, so if we just let this go, then what happens? Put a break on. Well, I guess we can put it there, I guess. Well, let's put it on the end, I guess, so that we can see what we have on all these at the end. So, let's delete this, delete this, delete this. So we have params, and delete that. Let's actually delete this too, and we'll put them back in the order they need to be in. So dir e params, or e params, I think. Params, s params, and then traits. Alright, so durability has nothing in it. Because we're calling this gen params, and that should cause an error. I'm not sure why it didn't. So we'll need to fix that, but we'll see what the other ones get. So at the very end of it, s params is nothing in it because there was nothing. We have 6, param 6 here with all those, param 2 within params with all that, and traits has all of our things in it. Really? So there's only the one? I mean, it makes sense, but I thought that's traits. Nope, yep, it's definitely just that one. Alright. So it actually looks like that. So I think we'll stop here for tonight. Oh geez, OBS disconnected. How much did we lose? When did it disconnect? Oh, not too long. Okay, it wasn't that long ago. Good. So, in case you missed that last bit, so I went through and checked everything. The durability is still kind of broken because we're calling this. This should have been called in the first place. It wasn't. I don't know why. Because this should have thrown an error. This is undefined. But didn't throw an error. So somehow, for some reason, that's not getting called. I think it's DUR. So it should be getting called. Or getting matched and going in there. But whatever. Everything else worked though, as you can see with our output here. So that's the output of these up here. Or what these are in here after we go through all this. Got our traits, which we have all of our objects. Our objects inside of objects inside of an object, which is, I don't know, it's some sort of meta inception going on here. But the only thing that has anything in it is level 3. So that's got that there. Everything else is just zeros. It's basically the default thing in there, just to fill it. We've got our the proper things set up here. Proper ones for counter. That one's for attack. No S-parms, which is fine, because there aren't any. Then we have to fix the durability. So that looks like it's going to be fine. Let's go ahead and hit continue. Bonuses, well, yeah, we need to... we didn't pass it back. Or no, wait, where's that at? Bonuses not defined. Game assist weapon, 1070, key bonuses. Keys that bonuses. I wonder if they're... what was it passing through? Well, I don't know. We'll have to see what it was doing there. I think it tried to pass through a null or something. But we'll figure out what that's about. So that's going to be it for the stream tonight, though. We are making progress. We got to do all this now in reverse. Which may or may not be worse, because now we're dealing with... everything is now an object. So to get everything, we have to do object keys and object keys and object keys. Maybe just 2 deep, 3 deep. Maybe even, I think it's probably going to be maybe in 4 deep, because you need to go one. So one object. So yeah, that might be a 3 deep. Oh God, why is OBS disconnecting for? Damn you. Anyway, you get the idea though. It's going to be very annoying loading this stuff in. As will become apparent when we start trying to code it. Since OBS is having a crap fit, I'm going to take that as my cue to end the stream. So thanks for watching. If you're watching it live, if you're watching on YouTube afterwards, feel free to leave any comments or questions you have below. And I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. And I will probably see you on Monday morning. If not, then, well, if not before then, I might do some streaming tomorrow. Once I get home tomorrow night. We will see. If I do streaming tomorrow night, it'll be for Star Ocean 3. Otherwise, I won't do any streaming at all. Yeah. This is GeoWill, and I will see you later.